We are back with the very first Milo's Conspiracy Corner with our friend
Milo.
Hello, I am Milo. No, Milo's. Oh no, Nick. No, Milo, you take it if you got it.
I am taking it. This is not Colorado's favorite dirtbag. This is now the universe's favorite dirtbag. So, Matt, what are we talking about today?
First off, we should explain why we need the tinfoil hats on. All right, I'm gonna tell you
Macro waves, dude.
what Wikipedia defines a tinfoil hat as.
Ooh,
Are you guys ready for this?
Yes.
I was born ready. I was born for this.
A tinfoil hat is a hat that's made of one or more sheets of aluminum foil or piece of conventional headgear lined with foil, worn in the belief that it shields the brain from threats such as electromagnetic fields, mind control, and mind reading. The notion of wearing homemade headgear for such protection has become popular among stereotypes that exhibit paranoia, delusions, and a belief of a pseudoscience and conspiracy theories. Foil hats have been seen in signs in Futurama. Well, who wrote this part of this article? Nick?
Okay, well, I just want to attack the paranoia part of this, because just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not after you. I just want everybody to remember that.
That's very true. I mean, why would you forget that, Nick?
Yeah.
Because they're after us. They're after us all the time.
They are. Hence the hats.
So, Nick, explain what we're going to do in this segment. Explain what the purpose of this goddamn segment is.
So we're going to bring to light one of the more famous or possibly more obscure conspiracy theories that exist. And we're going to discuss them. We're going to say what we think of them. We're going to discuss the pros, the cons, whether we believe them, whether we don't. We're just going to really tear this apart like a
beached whale at a club.
Yes, like a CIA's brainwaves into our heads.
Are you guys ready? Nick, what's our first topic?
Our first topic, you probably have lots of experience with them. You've seen them in every city, going over every field in the world. We're talking about chemtrails.
Chemtrails?
Yes, that is the big
You don't know about chemtrails?
line
Nick?
of condensation
Oh, fuck.
Chemtrails, bro.
behind all the aircraft. All the commercial
Weather
airliners.
control, man. Weather control.
So, the theory states, and Matt, you might have a little more sources in front of you, but the theory states
I don't.
that
'Cause we're
every
wearing
airliner is carrying aboard a compound for basically subduing the population into basically mind
Zombies.
control. Yeah, basically mind control.
It doesn't matter what it is.
So then
Oh.
they release their tanks full of this compound. Behind them in that big white cloud that we just assume is just condensation, nothing sinister. And it filters down from 36,000 feet, down, into our noses and into our lungs and our bodies.
On our little tiny nickeline brains.
Yep. And
can't even
subdues the
think right out.
population. And
Not right now, they.
Matt, what do you have to add to this?
So, there are beliefs that chemtrails can be distinguished from contrails by their long duration. So there necessarily isn't. So these are the big, flying out the back of a plane. So when you see like images of chemtrails, you're seeing like a huge jetliner with like 4 lines behind it. That doesn't really make any sense. Does it really have that many turbines that are moving that are shooting out jet fuel behind it? And there's a whole bunch of, water that's going into air. And you have a. Can someone help me out? You have something, don't you? You have an explosion.
Yes.
The same thing that happens inside your car.
Yeah. So it's basically...
It's all the CO2 being released.
Yeah, it's basically just a byproduct of
It sounds so
combusting
fucking
fuel.
stupid is the problem. It's so hard for me to sell it.
Yeah, it's basically the.
I feel like my mind is
Well,
blocked right now.
I've always understood chemtrails to be like people that I know that believe it. They think it has to do with weather control. That it's the government trying to manipulate the weather.
well, cloud seeding is a thing. That's not a conspiracy. Like, there is some truth to that.
What in the fuck are you talking about?
Seeding
Cloud
clouds.
seeding?
No, they're not like sitting down. They're seeding them.
Yeah.
You basically because.
No, I feel like I have heard about that, but I've also heard that that's kind of what a lot of like people who believe in chemtrails think is what's happening is
Okay,
is
I've
like
never heard that one, but-
weather manipulation. I mean, I don't know.
Like, what are you
Matt,
trying to
you
get?
seeing?
Storms?
I guess anything else. I mean, I don't know. Any kind of
Tornadoes?
weather manipulation. I don't know.
So it's funny because everything that I'm searching for
Hurricanes.
this is just explanations of how dumb it is, and they're talking about how contrails work, and that's water vapor that's created by the air or by an airplane from like the rocket that's actually shooting it at really high altitudes.
Yeah. Just the
And that's the reason why you
combustion
see so much gas
through a
coming
jet
out.
engine.
Yes.
Yeah. Because, I mean, there's always going to be byproducts. You know?
But
Yeah,
here's
I feel
here's
like-
the question.
I feel like there's definitely a logical explanation.
Let's say that they are shooting something down at us. How much do you think they would have to? First off, what would they even like throw down to us? Some sort of anthrax or something that would mess with us? Lead?
Cancer.
Nanocomputers, bro.
Yeah.
Cancer.
How many pounds of this stuff would they have to drop over our cities for something to actually happen?
Like an enormous amount.
Let's make the argument for it. All right.
I mean, I feel quite subdued. Do you?
I can't sleep.
Well, I can't sleep either.
We have these airplanes flying by, Nick. They're too loud.
We do live right underneath a landing pattern.
God, living in Tempe, I remember like my old balcony. You guys remember that?
That was an awesome balcony.
I remember like being kind of inebriated one night and like looking up and seeing all these lights in like a perfect line and being like, holy shit, Phoenix lights, dude. What the hell? Thinking it was like some crazy alien shit. And then like after looking at it for so long, I just realized that it's just like, you know, airplanes in a
Landing.
flight pattern,
Yeah.
like just waiting to land.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh shit, well that's kind of interesting because like, you know, I don't know, a lot of times you don't think about shit like that. You think that they're just, you know, they just
What if they are
they're
just
like, oh,
flying
look,
around,
look.
dropping more?
Ooh.
Chems.
Ooh. Hello.
Yeah, I mean, you think that they would do
I
the
believe
chemtrails at night, you know?
They do them at night. They do them during the day. They just
We don't know.
Well, I
'cause
mean,
they've
you think,
just
that,
convinced us.
you would think that if they were doing some diabolical shit, they would just do it at night.
that
Very true.
That does have a
So-
point.
Unless they're
But
invisible
they-
at this point. It's 2016.
Basically, I think all of us think chemtrails are bullshit, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I gotta go with that.
Take
I
the
mean-
hats off. Leave the hats on.
Take the
Sorry,
hats off.
folks.
I kind of like it, so I think we should keep it.
It's pretty warm.
I mean, just in case, right?
yeah.
I
Just
feel
in
like
case.
my mind is blocked though.
The other thing
You can't
is
see Nick.
about
I
this
know, I
one
can't
and a lot of the other major conspiracy theories, and we'll get into some other ones in further segments, but just the amount of cover-up that's needed is kind of ridiculous. Like, every aircraft mechanic that, you know, has seen some shady shit, I mean, people would be talking. I
Yeah,
mean,
definitely. Now, I mean, I don't mean to say that I don't believe in any conspiracy theories because, I mean, let's face it, there's got to be a lot of shit that the government has done that the public's never going to find out about. I do believe that. Like,
Yes.
There's probably some real life secret agent kind of shit that happens all the time that the story gets completely flip flopped. Like, what about like those missing planes? You know, like what was it? The Malaysia Airlines?
oh, yeah.
I mean, something like that could totally be like a huge cover up. I think, anyways. Like,
Right now, I feel like Zach is being influenced by our government because his hat's not on.
shit.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to look something up real quick. This seems necessary for the next
All right.
part.
But yeah, I mean, that's definitely true, but some of it's just so off the wall. And I'm sure there is some off the wall stuff that's happened. I mean, like, even stuff that's been proven that have been happening. Like the whole, like, did you hear about the Project Mick Ultra back by the CIA back in the 60s?
yeah.
That was basically
Mind
just
control
straight
kind
up,
of shit?
yeah, they were just like experimenting hardcore with like mind control and
Yeah,
really
dude. The fucking
non-kosher ways.
I'm pretty sure like the Unabomber was in that program. Like I think
Really?
Timothy McVeigh was. I'm one of them.
What?
One of the like the Unabomber or Timothy McVeigh, the Oklahoma City bombing. One of them was in that same like MK Ultra or whatever it was.
Mhm.
Is that what it's called? MK.
Mick, yeah, I always thought it was just Mick Ultra, but maybe I'm just
No, I think
influenced
it's
by the beer.
well, I don't know. Either or.
Maybe the beer's in on it. I don't know.
So I asked our listeners to give us some feedback. What are their favorite conspiracy theories? You guys want to hear what we got back?
Yes,
Yes.
I'm dying. to
Okay,
hear.
some of them are good. Some of them are I've never heard of. Some of them are interesting. Some are just terrible. They're mostly terrible. Good job, though, guys. Good
Yes.
job.
Thank you.
We have listeners.
Yes. Yes. So this is
my.
Twitter. Don't know if they listened.
Oh my.
They answered the tweet.
Answer
They
the
said
call.
the one that says JFK was assassinated by his own clone.
Assassinated.
Oh, that's so great.
Is that actually one?
I don't know, but I just love that there's some because I mean at that point it just gets to be like really creative that people come up with these and
I'm gonna look it up.
certain things
I'm
we'll
gonna
never
look
know.
into
You
this.
know, What about that
That
JFK
makes-
was killed by his own driver? That's one I
didn't know
know.
that.
There's a fuck ton of them around the JFK assassination. So
The Rothschild family owning all of the world's banks.
yeah, that's
I don't even know what that is.
you know, it's
But
all like Federal Reserve, like because you know, like once they started the Federal Reserve, the whole like switching over from this is how I understand it anyways. It's like switching over from like the gold standard to just like having the Federal Reserve print money, and so the United States government is always going to be in debt to the Federal Reserve. It's like some real complicated economics kind of shit, but
I'm glad you're on this one, Zach.
Yeah.
Okay, the next
But the Rothschild is
Leave me
just like
lost.
it's like the Vanderbilts. It's like even the Kennedys.
Yeah,
just
like
a
the
really large,
Kardashians.
wealthy
just
family,
wealthy
old money.
family. Yeah, East Coast.
this guy typed this in all caps, by the way.
Okay.
That the USA is somehow conspiring against Wade Bartlett's dream to make it there for NFL, like he said he would millions of times, with the word bruh added to make it sound more authentic.
Okay, I'm just gonna
Do
change
you have any idea what
Bartlett
he's talking about?
no
to
idea.
Boggs. So we're gonna talk about Wade Boggs.
What?
Thanks, Al. We're not talking about Wade Boggs. That the world is really flat and covered by a drone, and that Antarctica is not the bottom of the world, and then it goes all around us, which is why it is not populated.
Oh, is that kind of like the flat?
I
Earth
think that's just the flat
society?
Earth theory. Yeah.
Which I think that's not a good theory.
And the last one we got was from Tad Dubious, who said, a new one. The Clintons and Donald Trump have a deal. Trump destroys the GOP and makes enough Trumpish remarks that Miss Clinton wins in a landslide. Both sides increase their personal wealth.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
That one's real stupid too. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think all conspiracy theories are dumb. I'm sure some of them are. I mean, because for years, like fucking a bunch of people were talking about the government, like keeping data on like everything that's happening online, and then all of the fucking was it Prism? What was it? All that shit that came out like 4 or 5 years ago. Come on, you guys know what I'm talking about. The NSA kind of shit, that.
Oh, you mean like what's the guy who uncovered?
Yeah, like
Jonathan Snow?
Yeah.
Jonathan Snow.
Jonathan Globe?
Jon Snow from
Snowden.
Game of Thrones.
Jonathan, what is his name? Edward Snowden.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah. Like so all that shit
thinking of
all
Edward
that shit came
Jonathan
out and
Blow.
guess what? Like the conspiracy theory nuts that were saying that shit for years were not fucking they were accurate with that. So I think a lot of times and there's a bunch of conspiracy theories that the government puts out a bunch of misinformation to make conspiracy theorists sound even stupider. You know what I mean? Like the government will they'll have people pose as and put out all this bullshit fucking information to make people who believe in conspiracy theories look crazier.
And then be like, we just released that to see what you guys
Yeah, the radio host Alex, someone help me out here in Texas. Fuck's his name?
Alec Baldwin.
No, is the dude's is like he's like at the forefront of conspiracy theories.
Oh,
Alex, fuck.
I don't think.
I think it's Alex. I thought it was. Look it up.
Conspiracy.
George Norrie,
No,
Coast
look
to
it up.
Coast.
Look it up. No, look it up. Conspiracy theorist,
We can't
radio
we have a
host,
tinfoil song. We can't
It's gonna
look anything
be
up.
George Norrie.
Alex Jones,
Yes.
Infowars.
Alex Jones. And a bunch of people think that he's like a, what do they call him? Like a fucking shill or something like that. That he works for the CIA and he's just out there to make conspiracy theorists sound
Seem
crazy.
crazier?
Yeah.
That's interesting. So there's a conspiracy theory about the guy who talks about conspiracy theories.
Oh well, conspiracy theories are they go deep. Like the one that I think is a lot of fun is the whole that there's lizard people.
Oh, I don't know. We'll get into that one. We forgot to put up the sign, Nick.
We did.
Oh my god.
We can just throw that in later.
Let's redo the whole thing.
No, that's fine. We can put it at the bottom of the screen.
These things are really can hold in the heat.
Yeah, they're pretty
My
wild.
house.
My eyebrows are gonna catch on fire.
And Nick, you got a whole bunch of waves that are just coming to the back. You know that, right?
What? No.
Yeah, you're only protected to here.
Yeah, Nick,
Oh,
you're
man.
not kidding all the microwaves. Ladies and gentlemen, this was our first take at some conspiracy theories. Let us know if you liked it. Let us know if you hate it.
I liked it.
We'll figure out something else to do. We'll do 2 or 3 of them that are ridiculous about something very weird and contrived.
And then
Never landed
do
on the
one
road.
that do one that is plausible.
Yeah, very plausible.
I'm
I
gonna-
never landed on the moon.
I'm gonna look into JFK being assassinated by his own clone. I like that.
I like that one too. That
All
was
right.
like an X-Men, right?
No, he's not an X-Men. What?
In the X-Men movie?
What X-Men movie?
JFK's
Days
clone?
of
Futures Past.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Days of Thunder.
Oh yeah.
We'll be right back after a quick break. Everyone, don't you go anywhere.
Here you go. You can save this if you need to use it for any food or anything.
Let's see how good I look.